Hey there, welcome back. This is Louisiana Cooking and Living. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie, and today we're going to do the living part of Louisiana, and we are going to get our seeds started for our garden. I've been so excited about getting our spring garden going, and now is the time that we're going to get our seeds started, and so that's what we're going to do today. And first we got to make our seed starting mix, and I just purchased a few things, and we're going to make our own mix today. We're going to start off with some peat moss, and I have some worm castings. I have vermiculite and perlite, and for my fall garden, I had purchased some Vermont compost, and I started my seeds in that, and I had actually, I think, a little short about that back in August maybe, and we absolutely loved the Vermont compost. It was very great for starting my seeds. I got a great germination rate, but it is pretty pricey. So I'm just going to mix it in with this other blend of stuff to try and get its benefits from its nutrition, but then also bulk it up with some other stuff that's less expensive. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is getting this mixed up, get our seeds started. Hopefully I'll remember to label everything, because I'm horrible at labeling. And I do have two seed starting heat mats that I'll be hooking up today. I've never used those before, and we don't need our grow light up yet because they're not out of the ground yet. And as soon as they start sprouting through, we can hook up our grow light. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep it out here in my husband's shop. He made this little, I'll kind of turn around and show you what he kind of made for me. Let's see if I can get this. So he built me this, he and my father-in-law. If you saw my canning video, my first one in January, I showed my pantry that he had built for me for all my jars for canning. And while my father-in-law was here, they also built me, let's see if I can go the right direction, this little area here to work on all my garden stuff. So pretty excited about this little area. Got my chicken stuff, my garden stuff here. And so we're gonna get busy working on getting my seeds started. All right, so in my wheelbarrow here, I just have some peat moss. It's about half full, and I'm not gonna have any idea these measurements of stuff. So I have 2 bags. They're my Vermont compost I'm going to add in here. It's this rich, let me get my gloves on. I think it's time to order me some new gloves. They're kind of stretched out. But if you can see, it's this rich, dark soil. All right. The next thing I'm going to add is these worm castings. I'm going to dump this in. So this is like a composty kind of thing too. I got these off of Amazon. I got this and the Vermont compost. I can leave a link for these. Grab my, all right, and so now we have some perlite. This just kind of helps with the moisture retention. And I have no idea these measurements. Like I said, I'm just dumping. All right, so the vermiculite, I don't even know what page I found kind of a recipe on. I found it on Instagram of a seed starting mix, which was using coconut, husks, which is, this is what it is. And I did buy this, but my husband already had the peat moss, and they kind of are interchangeable. You would use this. It's very compressed. You soak it in water, it kind of grows really big. She used this. She used the worm castings, the vermiculite, and the perlite. This vermiculite says it's for soil conditioner to improve soil aeration and moisture retention. So we're going to add that. Okay, so the perlite, I'm reading it, it's not for moisture. It says it's to keep it from getting compact. Just got a tear. So I'll add about half this bag. We'll give all this a mix and we'll see what we think if we need to add more. I think it may be better just to get my hands in here. Kind of like when you're making dough in the kitchen. All right, I think we're mixed up pretty good. I'm going to show you what I like to use. So last year, what I used was, I kind of did a combination of things. I used these little seed starting trays. I didn't really like these because I can only put like one seed in a tray, and it was hard to get it all out. So I used a combination of that and some solo cups. I poked holes in the bottom. I just marked on the outside what it was. And I could put like 3 seeds in here, and then it was easy to squeeze it to get it out. And you didn't have to worry about dumping out all your seeds or your starts at one time. So I didn't really like this one. I liked this, but I felt like I needed to put too much soil in here, because if I only filled the soil like to here, they weren't really getting light, because I had all my my starts in my house on a table in front of a window. And so so for a while the little starts were not getting sunlight because of the side of the cup. So what I did was, I saw these at the dollar store. They're a lot shorter, smaller, take up less dirt. I might not get but maybe 2 or 3 seeds in here per, depending on what kind of plant it is. And but they'll be able to get light through the side of the cup and the top. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep my seeds out here, because it might get too hot before I can get them in the ground. I may have to move them inside into a window like I had them last year. Last year I did not have the setup out here. I did not have a grow light, but it might be in the 90s before we can get these in the ground, because last year we had a late frost in early April, and we'd already been in the 90s, and then it froze, and I'd already put my plants out, and I lost them all. So I just don't want to be tied down to one thing, because I need to be able to be flexible with everything. Our weather in Louisiana is horrible. So what I'm going to do is go through and I'm going to poke holes in the bottom of all these cups, and then we'll come back together and we'll start our seeds. Okay, so one thing that we are going to remember is to fertilize. We only fertilized a few times last summer, and while we did have some things like our peppers that took off and grew like crazy, we just got minimal tomatoes. Our cucumbers did really well. The watermelons, we got 2. there's a few things that we just were like, nah, we think this should have done a lot better. So we are going to purposeful put it in our calendar to fertilize this year. We already went and bought a bunch of fertilizer, so we can't make that excuse. And we're going to try and purposely do that. So a little side note too. These cups from the Dollar Tree are much more flimsy than like a solo cup. And so when I was poking the holes in the bottom, they seem to want to collapse. So what I did was, if I left it on the stack, just if you want to buy these from the Dollar Tree, I left them in the stack and it gave it stability. So when I went to poke the holes, I just used a knife. They were more sturdy. So that's just a little note if you want to try this method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill up my cups. And, well, I did, so I'm having a hard time also with my herbs. And so that's another thing I need to make sure I fertilize. I've been keeping them on my front porch because I kind of wanted to do like not a kitchen garden, because I'm not putting vegetables right by the kitchen, but I wanted my herbs as close to me as possible in the kitchen, so I'd be more apt to use them. But I also neglected them because I watered my garden every day, but I didn't go on my front porch every day. So we're trying a different, I guess, technique. I don't even know what the word is. We are going to put our herbs out in the garden. I mean, my basil was in the garden and it grew huge because I watered it, and I would collect basil, and I made pesto numerous times. I had, I think, a short or a video about making the pesto because I had so much basil. And so I did purchase, and these I just got at the dollar store also. And I'm going to try these little herb packets. I mean, I do have seeds I'm going to put like in the garden, but for these planters, I did purchase these at the dollar store. I've had good luck with dollar store seeds. The kale I buy for my chickens, it's 4 packs for $1.25, and those grow like crazy. So, let's see. So it looks like all you do is you put this little pouchy thing in your dirt. So it seems kind of easy. So I think I'm going to try a couple of these also. But we're going to go ahead and get dirt in our cups so we can get started. All right, so I got my little cups started here, and I just kind of want to go through and do a few of these with you, just because you don't need to sit here and wait for me to get all this done for us to discuss it. So I really love this. It's like a photo organizer, and I can link this also down in the description box from Amazon. It really is neat to organize your seeds because you can do flowers in a packet. I think I have 2 in flowers. You can do all your tomatoes, all your peppers, all your beans, or you just organize everything, and you can see through the little colored boxes too, which is nice. So one of the big ones we want to focus on are our tomatoes. I don't know if you can hear the chickens doing their little egg laying song. So I'll pull out my, here's my little tomato box. I usually have one that has like a picture in the front so we can make sure we see what's in here. So we can see this is tomatoes. This, for example, these spoon tomatoes, these bushes get huge, and I had no luck with getting any fruit. I had flowers all over them. I didn't get any fruit. My friend, who I had started seeds, I gave her some seed starts from what I had made, and she got fruit from it. So I think we just really need to focus on fertilizing. Creole tomatoes, I got these off of Amazon. I can link these also. They are kind of expensive, but we were able to get a lot of fruit from this. And so what we did was these seeds saved from our summer plants, and then I was able to plant again in the fall, and they did great. So I know these seeds will work. So we're definitely going to plant some Creole tomatoes. Tomatillos are a pretty important thing for me also for making salsas. So make sure I'm going to get those planted. My husband wants some beefsteak tomatoes. He likes these for big slicing for sandwiches. We're going to make sure we get those planted. Some Roma tomatoes for making salsa also. I have 2 packs of the Romas. This one I just got, I think, at Tractor Supply, and this one I ordered from Baker Creek. I got a lot of my seeds from Baker Creek. And I think that's the only tomatoes I'm going to work on today. And let's see. Peppers. I'm so excited about all my peppers. Oh, cucumbers too. Definitely going to get those. So last year we didn't grow any cayenne peppers. I had a hard time finding cayenne pepper seeds. Different online sources that I use, I didn't see them. I use Baker Creek in my gardener. I went to Tractor Supply. These I found at the Dollar Tree. 4 packets for $1. So I'm definitely going to plant some of these. I'm not sure how many seeds are in a packet, so I'll pull 2 of these out. We had great luck with our jalapenos last year. I don't think I grew any serranos last year. Definitely want to hit the poblanos this year. Oh, look, I do have cayennes I got at Baker Creek. Well, maybe I'll do some Baker Creek cayennes, and I'll do some Dollar Tree cayennes, and we'll see which one is better. Now, these Sugar Rush peach peppers, if you've seen any of my videos from this past summer, these grew like crazy. These do really well here. They're a very spicy pepper. They're hotter. They're like 10 times hotter than a jalapeno, I think. We ended up harvesting, I think, 15 pounds of peppers twice. So 30 pounds of peppers. I've made salsa. I made hot sauce, which I do have for sale on my Etsy page. I've made cowboy candy, which I have for sale on my Etsy page. I made pickled peppers. I've made so many things. The key to peppers is the stress. The stress is what makes them hot and grow more. And with this summer, with the high temperatures we had and the low moisture, we were in a drought all summer, which is crazy for Louisiana. But actually made great growing environment from our peppers. Looks like these jalapenos are already open, so we'll go ahead and use those and this Sugar Rush peach. Tabasco peppers, I'm going to try these again this year. I didn't have any luck getting them to produce last year. These Dill peppers, these are a free, Baker Creek, if you order so many dollars, I think it's $35, I may be wrong with that, a certain amount of money in seeds, they will send you free seed packets. And this is one of them, and these peppers are super hot. Also, I got a few peppers on this, so I'm not going to really waste space, I think, this year, because I really want to try the cayennes and the serranos and try and get my Tabasco peppers to grow. So I'm going to wait on those. Maybe we'll plant those again in the fall. So we're definitely going to do our cucumbers. We got to make our pickles. Oh, definitely got to get our watermelon in the ground. I have 2 different watermelons. This one I got at Tractor Supply, and this one, the strawberry watermelon, we got at Baker Creek. These plants grew really well last year. But we only got like 2 watermelons, but I want to try again and use the fertilizer. This is celery I got at a local farm supply store. I did already plant my celery out in the garden because this is your direct seeding earlier in the year. I also already planted some romaine and some kale for the chickens. So my leeks, I meant to start my seeds this past fall with my leeks, and I totally forgot. So here they sit. I need to put it in my calendar for this next fall. We did save bell pepper seeds. We got quite a bit of bell peppers, so I'm going to use these. I'm not going to start any flower seeds today. Pumpkins are the fall. Corn is a direct seed, so we're not doing those today. Carrots. Carrots are direct seeds. I'm not doing those today either. I need to get those in the ground. Beans are a direct seed. Not doing those today either. So this is some Brussels sprouts here. And broccoli. We are going to try something new this year that a friend of ours told us about. And that was planting the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli, because we didn't get any luck from the plants I started by seed. And again, it could be the fertilizer issue. I did buy broccoli starts from the local lawn and garden store, and I got broccoli from them, and it was the best broccoli I've ever eaten. But a friend of ours, there's a car driving by on the street, and said, of course she's barking. A friend of ours used straw bales, not hay bales, because hay bales have seeds in them, and those will sprout hay, and you don't want that to sprout in your garden. So straw bales, he planted his Brussels sprouts and his broccoli and I think tomatoes in those straw bales, and they grew really well. He got a lot of, and cabbage also, got a lot of fruit from that. And I guess because as it breaks down, it's always composting and fertilizing and or not fertilizing and feeding the plants. So we did purchase some straw bales, and we are going to use that technique for these plants and also for potatoes this year. And then this is some more of my herbs. I do need to get these started. So I'm going to do parsley in there. I really, besides the basil, I've always had a hard time, of course I need my basil, growing herbs. I'm going to try some garlic chives again. I'm going to try the dill this way and the way that I had bought the one from the dollar store. Let's see. This is a different chive. We'll try that one again. And I want to try parsley again. I'm really hoping it's going to be and this is just one I got at Walmart. I'm just really hoping it's going to be a fertilizer issue and not a Katie issue. I also printed off from our LSU Ag Center. I'm sure any of your local extension offices, wherever you are, will have one of these growing guides. I printed this off, kept it with my seeds, and it's really good. I need to staple it together so it makes it easier. It gives you planting dates for fall and spring, when you should plant them, whether you're direct seeding or doing your starts. And it tells you also how soon. So my goal is to put this stuff in the ground by April 5th-ish, around there, because last year that really weird late frost we had was around April 5th. For Louisiana, they say the rule of thumb is after Good Friday. Well, Good Friday is early this year, and I don't want to do it early and then we have that late frost on the first week of April. So I'm going to wait till after April 5th, so I have a good 8 weeks for these seeds to germinate and get some good strong seedlings going. But that will tell you in here how many weeks you need to get your seeds started before your last frost date. And then it also will tell you the good varieties for your area. So that was another thing I did, was whenever I bought my broccoli seeds and celery, I didn't get a good celery crop either. I got good celery leaves, and I was able to make celery salt with that, but I didn't ever get the actual celery stalks. So what I did was I went through here and I found the varieties that were good for my area, and I went through and I purchased those seeds instead of going from just a national online company, because they don't necessarily have what's good for your area. Everybody's weather, their humidity, their temperatures, it all changes. And so wherever you are, we're in zone 9A, I think it is. Yeah, it's A. We're in zone 9A. And so what we have is way different than what they have up in Michigan. So what's going to grow here, because we have a longer growing season, the temperature's different, the humidity, It's just everything's different across the country. So that's a really good tip, is to get one of these. Something else I did was I printed out some graph paper, and I kind of played around drawing my garden beds, what I wanted to plant where. Let's see. We plan on planting some strawberries. I think we've already missed it for this year, but I already have my paperwork printed so that we can get them planted in the fall for a spring harvest of what is the best variety for my area again. That's good information. And I'll keep this with my seeds, so I always have it handy. All right, so I'm just going to show you how I do this. I want to start with those tomatoes because those are so important to me. I know this is in this little packet. This is what we had originally ordered from Amazon, but we were able to save, I think we saved about 140 seeds from our plants, from our fruit last year. So even though it's an investment to buy the seeds originally, you can save your seeds and have plants for years to come. So I'm going to put 3 seeds in each one of these little things. If I needed to divide them later, I can. With the solo cups, I was able to just grow them in the solo cups, and then I would have like 3 plants that I could put out in my garden. And then I was able to gift plants to my friends because I had such a high germination rate. I started off strong, but it didn't last. And I think that is because I didn't fertilize. So I dropped one. Those are like gold. We don't want to waste them. So we're going to get these Creole tomatoes in here. Cover them back up. I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'm horrible with labeling. My husband, it's actually kind of funny, for Christmas, he gave me it's a paint Sharpie that's UV resistant, and a whole case of paint stir sticks, so I can write on here what I have in the garden, so I'm not guessing at all times of, what is this? I won't know until it really starts producing. So I'll take my Sharpie and I write on here Creole tomato. All right, 3 cups down, about another 100 to go. And of course, I'm not going to bore you with doing every variety. We just went through all of our seeds we're going to start today. And I get these little herb rockets I had got at the dollar store. I'll read real quick what it says to do. Place 1 herb rocket in loosened soil. And that's all it says. Just plant and water. So this one is dill, and I am going to have to do one of my paint sticks because I can't write on my planter, although I will know whenever it comes up. I may have put too much dirt in here, so I'm going to dump some of this dirt out. Okay, we'll just put this in here. Cover this back up. My husband will be proud of me. I'm going to, there's a plastic coating on that marker, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Sharpie for now, and then I can rewrite it later. So, and he is the one that's excited about the dill because he wants all kinds of pickles, which I did do pickles last year. I'm like, you don't even remember. So we have our dill. Let's see. So we ordered these seed starter heat mats on Amazon, and I can leave these linked below. Anything I leave linked below is, you don't have to purchase from that link. It doesn't cost you any extra to purchase from that link. It just helps my channel out if you do that. So I like to leave the links, and everything I use. Now this, I've never used this before. We just purchased these. But if you've seen my kitchen videos, anything I've used in my kitchen, and I recommend to leave links. I love it because that's what I use every day. But each one of these boxes has 2 mats. I might need to get these laying out so they'll lay flat. And before I put my plants on it, I don't want them to curl up and shoot my plants across the shop. So we'll need to lay these out flat. Whoops. I'll put something on those to get those flat. And we'll get these watered up, and we'll hopefully get some plants in the garden soon. I'm so excited about it. I've never gardened really in my life until this past year. We've done like a little small garden at our old house, and my husband did just in Home Depot buckets a few times. We've tried here and there, but this size of garden, I've never done anything like this. My dad always had huge gardens while we were growing up, and I kind of hated it because I didn't like pulling weeds. And now that he's not around, and I wish he was here that I can talk to him about this. He would be so excited to know I was doing all this gardening. He would take his dirt to the LSU Ag Center and have them test it to see what he needed to do to adjust his soil to make sure it was the right nutrient levels. And he just had massive gardens, like over 2,000 square feet in ground gardens, that he had a tiller and he tilled it up and had so many vegetables coming out of it. But I'm doing the raised beds, and so that cuts down the weeds and helps control that. So that's a positive. I guess also now that I'm later in life, and not later, I don't want to say that because I'm not old, right? But my kids are grown and I have more time, and although I'm working, so it's like, do I really have more time? I enjoy it now, and I see the benefits of having homegrown vegetables and fruits. So that's important to us. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like I said, I'll leave links in the description box, and I'll also put some cards at the top and of previous videos when I've used like the Vermont compost and a previous garden tour. We're going to be doing some more garden improvements. We're allowing the chickens to take over half of our garden area right now to kind of scratch it up, compost it, use their droppings, eat what was left from the fall garden that is no longer producing. So we have a lot of stuff coming forward this spring. So hopefully you can subscribe and follow along with us because we are so excited about this journey we're on, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.